Yeah.
Why do I keep doing that?
No idea.
You can tell I did not play this game at all this whole time.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're busy on project videos and stuff.
There we fucking go. Day 18. This guy! I had to do his dumb jobs and then he tries to double cross me. I beat him up and now he just wants me to go away. But he also, can't make me, so whatever.
So she's trying to be his BFF out of spite.
Yeah. See,
you're my best friend.
Difference between her and Molly McGee. Molly just wanted friends. Hot Kid just wants it out of spite.
You mess with me, I'm gonna mess with you back.
That just a Hat Kid surrounded by every stereotypical main Disney Channel cartoon protagonist girl. Like the Maple types. It's in a pool.
In a giant sewer pool near the burning forest, let words of Snatch's punch station.
Mm.
Okay, now where's friggin' punch station then? That's just his house?
Yeah. I definitely remember doing it.
That's the case, and I'm just gonna start in Subcon well level then.
I know I was doing this. I was just doing the male level because I feel like that opened up most of the level to me for doing this.
From what I've seen, you can actually get these in any level you visit.
Yeah, pretty much. I know I would just default to the mailing level. I know whenever I would go for these rifts. Yeah, pose.
So we want to go left of this, towards the burning forest, because that's exactly where children should be going. Hey, how much yarn do we have? 5. We have 5 yarns.
I remember a lot about this game. I could not remember a lot of the time riffs, mostly because a lot of them have a very similar sort of aesthetic, I guess.
Oh, it's frozen.
I was frozen today.
I just love how dramatically this whole thing just shifted from really intense boss fight. Alright, time to find where the hell we're supposed to go.
Yeah, also, at least you got the word pet stick out of the way. By the way, Subcon, we're looking for the Subcon sewage system, just don't mind us. Here, darn it.
Yarn!
Well,
Yeah, I love that Snatcher is just yeah, there's a burning village next to my house. It's fine.
this is fine.
Probably unaffected by most fire stuff.
And he's it's not my problem. I'm already dead, I think. Worm. It really make you go out of your way to try to find a damn worm here, huh?
Aren't these statues nice?
I feel like I know what the place is, it's just hard to picture it, when looking at this location.
I really did just go to the wiki and I was okay, where are they? And then they list, the areas and, different descriptors and what they're actually called.
Yeah, I should have put out that firewall at some point. This looks familiar.
You might.
Because I remember at some point going through here and there being some sort of firewall. I think it's actually past that firewall.
That would make sense.
Because I'm now remembering getting stuck on this exact same thing.
Alright, where are those plant things? Plant, I mean paintings. Oh, there's one thing.
For Fox Man.
What does the fox mask say?
A weird trend in 2013 when that song just
I hated that trend. I thought the song was super annoying.
I had that song randomly pop up on Alexa like earlier this year.
Especially because people in my school kept spamming it endlessly.
Yeah, I was in high school when the song.
And then in middle school, the main thing they would not stop playing was Bird's the Word, from Family Guy.
I was in middle school. We were all like the same age. We were in middle school during the Justin Bieber era. So.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really hear much of Justin Bieber. Like, I just mostly I knew more people who just hated Bieber than liked him.
I'll borrow you real quick.
My school had several loud Bieber fan girls.
Come with me.
And I know, basically, back then, you either really, really loved Justin Bieber or you wanted him dead, basically.
I almost exclusively just saw people who want him dead.
You either like Justin Bieber or you played his assassination game.
Yeah. It was the Zoomer version of Barney bashing.
Like there was like this thing where Justin Bieber was like guest starring on an episode of some TV show I never heard of, and there's like a scene where his character gets shot to death, and they're just celebrating this like that he actually died for real. Like I don't like what the heck.
I know the other songs. Back when I was in middle school, I actually tried to be semi-social, so I did go to like school dances, and so I remember the two songs I hear at every freaking middle school dance. You can tell what time period, this was. Party Rock Anthem and Party in the USA.
Oh my gosh, Party Rock Anthem.
Party in the US Rock Anthem.
And isn't that song like kind of a meme where it's like they correct the title and then two people kiss?
Something like that. I know
like it's
Party in the USA and something. No, I know the other song I heard a lot in middle school was that freaking Love Story from Taylor Swift.
It's a love story, baby, just say yes.
I remember my sister made a parody of it for back in the day for Lion King, but that song for Lion King too. And at one point, it was like about Lulu and Kiara from that movie, and I don't remember a lot of the lyrics, but it was like when it was like my daddy said stay away from Juliet, instead she went, my daddy said more. The lion.
Grrr.
Yeah. Because Lion King 2 is based off Romeo and Juliet.
They think they're so slick.
I mean, the first movie is basically Hamlet.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I mentioned this on this channel, but when I was in 7th grade, I was in a production of Hamlet. I played Horatio specifically, and I'm 12 years old, so it's not like I can figure out what the hell the Shakespeare dialogue I'm saying in the script even means. And I don't think a lot of the cast was in it for a while, and we just moved off so often during rehearsal that it got kind of ridiculous and think the director had to yell it. But I remember 2 weeks before we were set to open, a week or two before we were set to open, I listened to the play enough times to kind of piece together the story. And once I did, I went, this is the Lion King!
You did it. You cracked the code.
Yeah, because I wasn't as into Disney, but I friggin' loved Lion King. I
can't believe Hamlet ripped off the Lion King. SMH.
For me, at 6 years old, I know I loved the Lion King, but specifically I was hyper-fixated on Timon and Pumbaa. I watched Lion King 1.5 so much, and I kept Timon and Pumbaa reruns on Toon Disney.
Oh, it's a statue.
I was born to the hyenas myself.
Yeah.
Shame all these houses are empty.
What is the...
We're being attacked by a sentient statue. That's what those trumpet things have been this whole time.
Oh yeah, it's creepy. I know you're in the right area though, and this looks familiar.
Definitely in the right area, because I'm one painting away from getting those burning guys dead.
One point recently though, a few days ago, I think the other day, I tweeted the Timon and Pumbaa intro, and I think I gave everyone Toon Disney nostalgia.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Toon Disney nostalgia.
I remember when Disney X, I remember I was not in Disney XD when that came out, because I was like, what is, even back then, then I just saw it as instantly inferior to
Come with
Disney.
me.
It is such a downgrade, objectively. I'm not even saying this out of nostalgia.
All it was what Disney Channel was doing, except instead of trying to pander to 12-year-old girls, they're pandering to 12-year-old boys.
It was painful. I also remember getting really mad at Zeke and Luther because it took the time slot of a show I liked, and they stopped airing it after that.
Do you remember what show it was?
It was Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. You know the one with the ridiculously
Super
long
Robot
title.
Monkey
I was
Hyperforce
hyper.
Go! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum-ba-da-bum-bum.
So I hyperfixated on that show, and I was like sad when they stopped airing it, and also the fact it ended on a cliffhanger. And then frickin' Zeke and Luther comes in and ruins it.
Zeke and Luther has a very hilariously bad theme song. Like the show looks like a friggin' shitpost.
I'll borrow you real quick.
Oh god.
Hey.
Boom.
And
If there's one thing I
Burn,
learned about
baby,
Disney,
burn.
they got 2 shows with laughably bad theme songs. Zeke and Luther and Crash and Burn Steam.
crash and burn,
Ew.
steam, crash and burn, steam.
One of these guys and another one of our friends, Tart, showed me the. I'd never seen Crash and Bernstein, definitely heard of it. So they proceeded to show me what the theme song sounded like, and I actually sounded like I was being tortured when I was listening to that.
Ugh.
I'm pretty sure exact words were, "Holy crap, this theme song is a violation of the Geneva Convention."
The sad part is my brother used to constantly watch Crash and Bernstein, so it's partially awful.
One of my IRL friend's little brother used to watch Lab Rat, and she told me how much that show sucked.
Ugh.
It's like it tries to tell this. It's like it pretends that it's actually telling this like compelling sci-fi drama, but really it's like meh incarnate.
I know my thing was like a lot of Disney Channel shows feel like they're trying to be more than they are. Girl Meets World had a similar problem where it tried to tell this like it tried to have some to deal with I guess more mature plot lines I guess, kind of like the show they were reviving did. But they still had Disney Channel level writers, so it ended up being so horribly botched that the show I think trended on Twitter a few times because of it.
That's pretty yikes.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about a Disney Channel, like a modern Disney Channel show with some deeper themes, watch Andy Mack, I guess.
Yeah, they do. Girl Meets World does an episode about a boy one of the characters having autism. Let's have all the main characters act disgusted by this.
Yeah, they're like why are you so offended that he could have autism?
One thing I did also tweet recently that I guess went like semi-viral is I tweeted this clip from Good Luck Charlie that was like Teddy being disgusted that this guy she's dating likes this weird Pokemon knockoff.
The weird Pokemon knockoff that, by the way, wasn't even that good. Wasn't even that coherent of a knockoff.
Yeah, it was one of those cases where the writers were vaguely aware of what these were, but like not the details because they were the clear like focus of the story was this guy's weird. He has weird nerdy hobbies.
They just assume.
Meanwhile, the guy was actually like one of the most sad characters in that whole show.
Like, okay, but like, they also act like apparently liking some nerdy Pokemon thing is like the equivalent of LARPing in real life.
Acted like the LARPing was so.
No, like who does LARP Pokemon? Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's so funny that some points they were just mixing up Pokemon with like Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like I've seen people, like I know, like was it like were they trying to figure out like cosplayers? That's the only thing I think of. It's like
I know when I tweeted that, one of the common replies I get is people comparing it to that iCarly episode with the Bat Boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very common comparison because it just involves the main lead character being very shallow.
Very main character.
And it's someone acting like she's in the right for it.
Yeah, character in the right for finding guy I don't even remember from the episode. The guys weren't even being like creeps or weirdos. They were just like awkward dudes with a hobby.
And the thing that and the main lesson we're supposed to take from this is don't pretend to like things.
Don't pretend to like things. No, the lesson should be don't be a judgmental prick.
Yeah, I guess for some reason the iCarly reboot brought that bad boy character back. But they decided to make him some pyramid scheme scammer guy. I guess to somehow justify why they dodged a bullet and not ending up with him.
This feels like you're trying to.
It feels like just an excuse to justify that. Oh, the protagonists were right for doing that. Actually,
God damn it.
Yeah. I know. I've only seen like the first episode of the iCarly reboot. I will say the big highlight of it is Spencer just becomes this fucking rich dad. Meanwhile, Freddy's life is so pathetic that it ends up being depressing.
no.
Even the reboot hates Freddy.
But like Freddy's just the biggest butt of the joke. It's sad.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like
it's
the
okay.
guy literally gets bullied because he doesn't like Fred Figglehorn, or simply just he didn't care for him.
You know, which is funny because back in the day, Fred Bigglehorn was in a similar area to Justin Bieber, where a lot of people over the age of 10 just didn't like him.
Oh, and then also the episode where he mentions that he never had his first kiss, and literally everybody bullies him.
Funny because a good chunk of them are like young teenagers, so you can tell there's some insecurities there.
Like, what the heck?
I know the Fred episode. It was so funny to look at that because when I was in my early teens, I was on YouTube watching those like old like Windows Movie Maker tier videos on Modern Media or whatever. And one subject in series was Fred Bigglehorn.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who hated Fred's guts for being too popular, and I guess.
They rant about his friggin' chipmunk voice or whatever.
Oh yeah, his humor there's not really much to the humor besides like, oh hey, here's this guy who has this really high-pitched voice talking about nonsense.
Kind of died once Nickelodeon started to market him and make
Yeah, and then I think though, yeah, when Nickelodeon starts marketing him, it just like it somehow ironically makes his quality worse.
Yeah.
Like it's just his gimmick just really does not work for TV.
Yeah, I've only seen the first Fred movie, and even back then I thought it was pretty shit.
Like, I don't even get what the point of it was. Like, there was just like nothing happening. All I remember is John Cena was the dad.
Cena's the dad.
John Cena was this hallucination of what his dad's like.
They tried to make videos that are usually like 3 to 5 minutes and are clearly just LOL random skit humor. They tried to make that into a 90-minute movie. There's clearly a problem here.
Mm-hmm. And then Cartoon Network tries to do this with Annoying Orange, and that also went
pretty much
poorly.
the same problem. Exact same problem as the Fred one. I know they really wanted to market the guy who did Fred because they did the Fred show, and then afterwards they did this weird thing called Marvin.
Yeah, where he plays like an alien in disguise.
Like, wow, really?
Because, you know, that trope isn't overdone already.
I mean, it's not like one of the most popular sitcoms of the 80s has a similar premise.
You know,
I guess these writers that grew up with that type of stuff now just really want to emulate it.
they're like,
So funny.
well, it was popular when we were kids. Why wouldn't it be popular now?
Funny is, so when I was in my like brony high school brony hyperfixation, I'd also like watch other shit on the hub. I actually have the hub on, like cycling through the channels of the hub on, and the hub's lineup was kind of insane because they'd have reruns of like old ass sitcoms on it, like from the 80s.
Oh yeah, they even had the Adam West Batman show.
They had the hub lineup was goated, especially for the time. It kind of felt like the old Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon that was missing it, frankly.
Also showing classic like Batman animated series, Animaniacs. Like this is crazy.
Tunes and like a bunch of old sitcoms. It was like a weird mix.
I think they also showed Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, they had that, and I remember specifically I was watching some of these, and at one point I had Alpha on, and my mom's like, I hated that show. I hated that. But my mom just hated Alpha, thought it was stupid.
All my homies hate Aunt Health.
I know the other thing that happened when I was watching that channel is during the time I watched that, I was also kind of just going through this kind of I'm 14 years old and angry at the world phase. So at one point I was watching like a Dan Versus premiere on there, and I'm like have it on like in the living room while my mom's making food. And so my mom actually kind of listens to what's on the TV, hearing Dan ranting and going, it reminds me of you!
Oh. Oh.
Which at the time, probably.
That self-reflection is real.
Yeah.
Just casually getting roasted by a mom.
Well, but low-key at the time especially, Dan was like a friggin' badass who was just like the voice of reason against the fucked up world.
I was just really confused. Like this is like marketed to kids, since this is like the same channel that had MLP. Like they just cannot be any more different.
There's a reason why Dan Versus being on the hub was kind of a meme in terms of crossover promos with MLP, but it was just on our own channel, honestly, objectively.
And how I think it might have originally meant to be more of an adult show.
Yeah, it really should have been like Adult Swim or Late Night Cartoon Network after regular show.
Maybe.
I think it was actually originally made for Adult Swim, but then they just didn't pick it up.
Oh.
Yeah, so apparently Hasbro's weird channel experiment is what picked it up.
So maybe that whole joke thing about Dan versus Robot Chicken had more meaning behind it than we thought.
Yeah.
Versus Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Classic Chat GDP.
Yeah, a long time ago they went on Chat GTP and just said...
That was like the funniest script I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was back when Chat GDP was funny.
You know, that was back when AI stuff was actually funny before it became this like before it actually became kind of scary because things were like, oh shoot, we could use this to save money.
Wow, we have to exploit this thing for no reason.
It was funny before people started using it for illegal content.
Yeah.
I know there was a thing where so there was like this Pokemon trading card art contest, and there was like a big thing about how a lot of the finalists, some of the potential winners were AI generated, and I think they actually got rid of all of those, thankfully. But that's just extra shitty, cause like, ugh.
We've been taking a bigger stance against AI compared to other companies.
Yeah, but like especially for a contest, when you have actual people trying to do this, and you just win by doing basically nothing.
Yeah, I know. So my older sister is a teacher, and specifically she is an English teacher, and she has said she has had students burn in papers that were clearly written in AI.
Oh no!
You can always tell an AI did it because it just has a certain quality of shit to it.
Is it too polite? Does it just have incorrect information? Or...
It'll have stuff that like she didn't even talk about in the curriculum.
Wow.
It'll be like clearly not their writing style, but she grades all their papers. She'll know their writing style.
It's kind of like the new copy pasting stuff from Wikipedia for your assignments.
It's like more thing. It's just an extra thing teachers have to look for in anyone's papers. Are you plagiarizing, or are you writing this, in AI? Because I think one of the things I thought of with ChatGPT was also kids are going to use this to cheat on their papers.
I didn't even realize that was a possibility until South Park made an episode about this, because I'm like, by the point this was happening, I'm like way too old for school assignments, so this really did not come to my attention that could happen.
Yeah, I graduated high school, graduated college, and then a couple of years after I graduated, this happens.
Yeah, we all kind of got out of school just in time to avoid this shit.
Because I know kids also would definitely be lazy enough to be just like, I don't want to do shitty homework.
I know one thing I've learned though, because I feel like you get a different perspective on the world when you're like out of the routine of going to school like every year. Like one difference in my life is I've learned I really appreciate fall even more in the season.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as a kid, fall gave me a lot of dread.
yeah, like for reference, I am someone who generally prefers Goldilocks weather. Like I do not like the coldness of winter, and Illinois gets too humid as fuck in the summer. So my favorite seasons were always my favorite season mainly for my life is spring. But I've also learned I also like fall, and it's kind of now tied with spring.
And then by contrast, summer used to be like the greatest season ever, and now
It's
it's just like it's a little too overwhelming for me.
a little too hot, and think. And here's the thing for me, like I'm appreciating fall more because like one, I don't have to worry about the main downside of fall, which was school starting back up. Because I work a job that basically just has me working all year, so working any season is really not that much different. Like even working in the like summer is not as it kind of more into me now, mostly because I still have to work during the.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess you like going to the beach and stuff,
Yeah.
and also the rest of my family having summer birthdays.
Yeah,
It's just kind of a drag, and like I feel like I'm dying when it's so super hot.
The main plus with summer is because I usually do trips with my sister, and my sister's a teacher. Summer is usually when I plan all the trips. When I have
Makes sense.
Like, I always like spring because it was like perfect Goldilocks weather. Plus I don't get allergies, so I don't have to deal with that.
Right. Only downside is that there's just the points where spring and fall, like it tends to be more cold for me than warm most of the time.
One with my area with living in the Midwest. I don't know if this is a Midwest thing specifically, but when it's spring and fall, kind of don't really exist a lot of the time. Literally, especially spring, it doesn't exist. Like
the snow keeps trying to come back.
Like it'll be in March, there's still friggin' snow, and then by April and May, it's summer weather anyway. You barely actually get that perfect balance of 50 to 60 degrees.
Oh yeah, another thing about summer I hate the bugs so much.
Yeah, I know I'm one of those people who for some reason the mosquitoes just.
Yeah, I got like a really bad bug phobia, and mosquitoes are so bad sometimes. Even to the point where even just being out in broad daylight, you'll still get bit up.
Yeah.
And it was really bad a while ago because we kept getting rain, and so there was like tons of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Look up! There's a lot happening.
Gosh. See, I also in Illinois, you get like the most frigid winters and the worst summers. Like it's ridiculous.
It's scary because sometimes winters here can be like colder than Alaska.
Oh yeah, forget up there.
Because Alaska gets that sea air, which kind of evens it out a little bit.
I genuinely don't get why someone would live in Alaska willingly.
I don't know, honestly. Maybe they want to be in touch with nature. Like you can see tons of bald eagles, apparently.
Yeah, Alaska's like a really naturey state.
I imagine you're there for hiking and stuff.
Plus, I would imagine most of the populations kind of live closer to the south portion, and it's like most of it's just kind of uninhabited or just very, very, very,
very sparsely populated.
Yeah, sparse.
We're gonna go to Alaska to look at mountains and stuff.
Maybe. Oh yeah, another thing is they get a lot of earthquakes, and that scares me.
I know the big thing about Alaska is that there's a huge oil industry there.
What's funny is, I don't know. Actually, did I mention this last session that I went to Washington D.C.? I can't even remember.
Yes, you did mention it in the last session.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, it's been so long. I was like, did I mention that part?
We specifically recorded just so we can have extra footage in case we ran out.
But then, then again, I live in a state where it's like, what do you do here besides Chicago?
I gotta do a Google search about things in Illinois outside Chicago.
You can see Lincoln's grave. I one of my 8th grade.
Wait, Lincoln's grave's there?
Yeah, Lincoln grew up. Like, I know, like, in 8th grade, we took a trip to break down to Springfield, and we saw Lincoln's grave.
Whoa.
And even then, Springfield is such
But
a
yeah.
relevant town. Springfield is such a relevant town that people out of the state just assume Chicago's the capital.
So there is the Lincoln Presidential Library. Is that where you went?
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I went there in like.
I went to one presidential library, and it was for Harry Truman.
Yeah, I don't remember too much about that trip beyond seeing Lincoln's grave and my friend on the bus was shiny hunting the whole time.
Oh. Wow. Seeing all this cool stuff, and there's just shiny hunt.
She was like hatching egg shiny hunting.
Oh yeah. I tried to do shiny hunting, and I think I quickly got bored. And then my timer, and then the little like counter I was trying to do kept resetting.
I am way too impatient to shiny hunt.
Yeah, like I respect people who can do it, and I'm just like, how do you do that? That's kind of shocking.
I feel like shiny hunting would just cause me to get sick of whatever Pokemon I'm hunting.
Maybe.
Yeah, I do not have the patience to shiny hunt either.
Like some of these shiny hunts can last years. Like that's scary.
Have you come to make a...
Oh. I thought that was something. I thought it was wearing an Incredibles uniform.
I love that bit. Honestly, the face
might as
looks
well
like
just get this match just to pass the time.
I feel like your avatar could totally do that match face.
What?
Who knows? Maybe if I ever actually do like videos, I'll have that be one of the emotion faces.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to look up other sites in Chicago, outside of Chicago. There's the Cahokia Mound State Historical Site, the Lincoln Home National Historic Site, the Starved Rock State Park.
Oh, Starved Rock! I was about to say that because like I can tell you other stuff, but like because I just remember. Wait, I grew up here. I thought of other stuff. Like, Starved Rock is where you go. Starved Rock is just another kind of hiking location. Like you just go there and you hike. Basically, there's a cool little lodge resort you stay at. I went there a few times because growing up, I grew up in a divorced family, so we didn't exactly have a lot of money for extravagant trips. So most of my vacations growing up were either to like Wisconsin or Michigan. And Memphis because my dad's family was there.
Oh yeah.
So like for example, I didn't go to Disney World until last year.
Oh.
For the first time, I didn't even go to Disney World until last year. That is how, like, that was like the big trip everyone in school went to, but like, our asses were too, like, didn't have a lot of money to go to places like that.
Okay, so there's also the Brookfield Zoo.
In the Chicago area, I actually haven't been there in years. Like, I went there a couple times growing up, but, yeah. Brookfield Zoo is more South Side Chicago, I think. It's not that close to me.
I see. The Baha'i House of Worship.
I have no idea what that is.
I probably butchered that. I don't know what that is.
Wait, another place, Six Flags Great America. It's like more north of northern Illinois, right by Wisconsin.
Never been to Six Flags.
Six Flags Great America is what we got. It's in Gurnee, Illinois. It is also right by the Gurnee Mills Mall. It's a really big mall.
And then there's the Garden of the Gods.
I don't know what it is either. There is another kind of fun not really a landmark, this fun kind of historical park / botanical garden kind of place that has these tanks on it that you can climb on and stuff. I don't want to disclose what this is because it is actually close to where I live.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I know there was like I think you showed us some like a map of stuff, and I see like one of those Aurora towns has a blackberry farm.
Yeah, I'll get that out.
I went there in 4th grade on a field trip because we were learning about one-room schoolhouses and we kind of and how people went to school back then. And for our field trip, we went to that blackberry farm, and we got mainly to see their one-room schoolhouse.
Wait, oh my gosh. I think the vibes of one-room schoolhouses are kind of adorable. I'm so sad they get rid of those like bells on the top of the roofs because they look really cute.
I love what we did in 4th grade. Specifically when we were learning about one-room schoolhouses, the teacher got us really into the act. Like, she simulated our class like being in a one-room schoolhouse and gave us fake names and stuff. Don't worry, she wasn't giving us like actual dunce caps or hitting us with rulers or anything.
Did you have to like carry around those heavy lunch boxes?
No, I think she just kind of talked like it was, and it lasted like a couple weeks until we went on that field trip. So like for a while, I didn't know if I should call myself my normal name or my schoolhouse name.
Oh. Okay, so there's Raging Waves Water Park.
But that is either.
Galena.
Galena, that's
18th, a 19th century town.
Oh, Galena. I know there was I know of. I don't know what that is.
Hard to talk to.
I only go to so many landmarks a year, and probably even less in my adult life.
Mm.
Fun places I've seen around here. Well, there's fun Wild West theme park area, the cheesy ass Wild West theme park for little kids that was by where I grew up. But I shut down because of the pandemic.
Aww.
It's always the pandemic that kills the fun shit, huh?
Yeah. What's funny is my sister was a stunt actor for it a couple summers beforehand.
The Anderson Japanese Gardens.
No, surprisingly, you would think I'd know more because I've lived in this area, kind of the Chicago area, my whole like life.
I don't know if this is even in Chicago or not.
Most of these are probably just like general Illinois.
I think they're like outside of Chicago because you know they gotta have some other stuff to stand out.
If I don't know what it is, I'm just gonna listen to the controller stuff in Illinois. Except for Hard Rock, I knew what that was.
The Soul Asylum.
Funny the game of this is how do I talk about this without doxing myself? It's
Well, on the bright side, I can just edit this stuff out. I totally landed on the Batch Collector's head there.
yeah. This is gonna get edited. We're just gonna cut this out.
There's gonna be so much cut out this one level just because I got so freaking lost because the descriptions on the wiki are so vastly different than what the actual locations are called.
Oh yikes!
Like they keep talking about a subcon courtyard, while the wiki does not list that as an actual location in this game.
Oh.
So I'm like, what do you mean by the courtyard? That's not a location on the wiki.
All it feels for me, what I did was I just looked up walkthroughs of where he kind of gets to their exact location.
Well, the Soul Asylum is kind of dark.
I mean, it's an asylum, so.
Okay, because it has plenty of stabby murders and punishing torture devices from all corners of the globe.
Botanical garden.
Well, I found one of them finally.
Well, good. Nice.
Well, there it is. I guess we're back now.
Yeah, we're back now. Who knows where we cut off, but I finally found one of these damn things.
Dang, these things are just so long to go through. Consistently.
Ironically, you can beat these things really at some points.
I guess people. I wonder how the speed runs for this game are.
Yeah, I hope that there's at least one speedrunner that watches this and is screaming the whole time.
Like, is there like 100% speed run where you have to like do all these things too?
Look, if I play speedrunners for Piglet's Big Game, there are speedrunners for this.
There's speedrunners for this. It's just more funny to think of them just screaming their heads off.
I mean, yeah, like there's probably a speedrun for almost every somewhat known game, just because they can.
Yep.
speedrun for Kid Icarus Uprising.
Especially if they're more. Wait, is there a speed run for Kid Icarus Uprising? I want to see how funny that would be.
I've seen it before, but even then I'm like, ignoring the fact that Kid Icarus Uprising is a very linear game. I don't think, like, I love the game, but I don't know if it'd be a very exciting game.
Probably not. Like, I try to wonder if there's like any weird glitches so you can like cheese the game somehow.
Yeah, Kid Icarus is like one of the most linear games. It is built on you, like, going through its story, basically.
Yeah, it's basically like trying to speedrun Kirby. You can, but it's like it's pretty much just a skill-based thing.
Maybe.
Both are made by Soccer.
Like I think the Amazing Mirror speedruns would be crazy just because you can technically access almost anywhere.
It's why the biggest speed games tend to be like 3D platformers, because you can do a lot of. You can be very loose with the movements, and a lot of them can be very kind of open world. Wow. Ironically, you got through that very quickly. Like, naturally, the team that has one of the highest speedrun categories is SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
I'm very sick of being in Mafia Town.